If you want to have aesthetically pleasing dashboard covers inside of your Happy Planner, then today I'm going to show you exactly how I make these vellum overlays and the dashboard planner using Canva. So stay tuned.
I'm changing who I am. I'm making a new plan.
Hello planner babes. Every month I do a planner setup video and I enjoy changing out my dashboards each and every time. However, they can get pricey to buy your own dashboards all the time. So today I'm going to give you an affordable way of how to create your own dashboards using Canva. Let's head over to Canva. So here we are in Canva. I'm going to click on Create a Design. I always work in a custom size. I know there are preset document sizes, but I like to put it in myself. So I make sure my units are in inches, and I'm going to use 8.5 by 11. Then I'll click on Create New Design. Once I have my blank page in Canva, I go ahead to the sidebar and I scroll down to where it says Magic Media. Magic Media allows me to type in anything that I want, and Canva will go ahead and create that image for me. I like to do this because I like to see an image that's just going to be custom to whatever I want. So I'm going to create a fall theme dashboard. Here you can get as specific as you would like. I chose a fall nature theme with a black woman on a bench looking at a bridge. Let's see what Canva creates for me when I click on Generate Image. Canva has created several images for me. I can use any one. I'm going to choose this one. I clicked on the image and it sent it over to the page for me. I'm going to adjust the size of the image to a 7 by 9.3. I also went in and just made sure it was centered on the page. However, it's not a necessary step. I thought it would be really cool if I include a vellum overlay to this image. So I'm going to go ahead and add an extra page. This time, I want this vellum overlay to only have text. So on my sidebar on the left, I'm going to go ahead and click on text. I enjoy the text brown sugar. However, you can use whatever text that you like. Here I'm going to type out autumn in all caps. Then I'll change the size of the text to be really large. I really want this autumn word to come down the side of the page vertically, so I'm just going to include each letter on its own line. I'm going to adjust the sizing of the text by clicking and dragging on the edge. I know that the height of the Happy Planner page is a 9.25, so I'm just going to make sure that my lettering fits within that. I went ahead and adjusted the lettering so it can fit to the sizing of the page. Now I like to make sure that it's centered. I chose to include the lettering on the right side because I would like it to have an overlay of autumn coming right down this side. I'm going to add another page and create another dashboard just to make sure we all got it. So again, I have a blank page. I'm going to go over to my sidebar, going to click on Magic Media. I do want to note that Magic Media might only be available on the Pro account. However, I'm not sure. Gonna scroll down and click Clear. Now I want to create a more fall fashion sort of theme dashboard. Here I chose to create a cozy fall minimalist wardrobe. Let's see what it gives me. I really enjoyed the pumpkins in this one, so I'm going to add it to my page. I'm going to stretch out the sides to a 7. And I'm going to stretch the top and bottom to a 9.3. I am aware that the photo does get a bit smaller as I stretch it out, but it has most of what I want, so I'm okay with it. So I went ahead and created the dashboards that I wanted to include for the month of November. Here's the end result. So first I have my woman just facing water, and this is going to be a vellum overlay that just says autumn. I have a fall wardrobe, and this next page is also going to be a vellum overlay that represents jasmine plants. Then I have a dashboard of a praying woman. And since we will be in the season of giving thanks, I decided to include the scripture, give thanks to the Lord with all your heart. That is also going to be a vellum overlay. Then I just asked Canva for some pumpkins with coffee and leaves. That's what I got. And then I'm going to also include another vellum overlay, which is going to be this budget sheet. Now, in order for me to print this, I am going to need to click share. I will need to go to download. I'm going to change this. I'm going to change this to PDF, best for printing. Then next I will select download. Here are my pages downloaded. I like to print my image pages onto just plain white cardstock. And these letter pages, I'm going to be printing them on vellum. Now let's see how they turn out after printing. So I just finished printing out my dashboard pages, and here is how they turned out. Very beautiful. That's the fall wardrobe. There goes my praying woman. And here goes the pumpkins. And here is the vellum overlay. The vellum paper I get from Michael's. I know it is a 29-pound paperweight. I'll link that down below as well. So here's the vellum for my sections. I would honestly just suggest that when you are printing on the vellum, just print one sheet at a time. Give the printer some time to let this dry and then print the next one. So that way your pages do not come out smudged. Here's an example of what happens when you just print all the sheets at once. The ink is not dry, so as the pages come out, it just pushes the ink all over the other page. Next, I'll need to cut these down to size. I have here my Fiskars paper trimmer. I'm going to first cut down the dashboards. They're going to be really easy to cut down. These are pretty much already in the 7 by 9.25 size, almost. So all I'm going to do is just trim around the edges that are already here. Here is one dashboard already printed down to size. Now I'm going to just trim off the other ones. All of my dashboards are now cut down to size to fit in the planner. They will be hole punched in just a little bit, and I'll show you what I'll be using to do that. Now it's time to cut down my vellum overlays. When I cut these down, I don't necessarily use an exact measurement at first. Because of the way I put the lettering on the page, I do want to make sure that I get them to be a 7-inch width with a 9.25-ish length. So I'm going to start with this one. I am going to open this up. Let me get these off to the side. I'm going to first cut this vellum overlay. I'm going to put it in first, measuring up to that 7. However, I would rather go a little bit over, so I'm just going to go to 7 1/4. Make sure that is nice and straight. Also have a crooked dashboard or a crooked vellum overlay. And slice it down. To me, it's okay if the vellum overlay hangs over just a little bit. This is fine. So I'm going to even this out and take off some of the paper from the top and the bottom. I need to make sure that my first word does not get in the way of my cut line. So right now I have this to about 9, 10, and 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to flip it around. And this time I'm going to make sure that it comes maybe a little past 9 1/4. I put it past 9 1/4 just so it can have a little overhang over the dashboard. And this is how this particular page is going to fit over the dashboard. It still needs to be cut down. I'm going to go ahead and trim the rest, and then I'll be back with you guys. All right, so all of my dashboards and the vellum overlays that I intended to have them with are cut out. Now what's left is to go ahead and hole punch these pages with my disc punch. So here's how they look so far. I do have the Happy Planner Big Disc Punch. So what I'm going to do is take one of the sheets. I'll just move them to the side. Just to be careful, I'm going to use one sheet at a time. So I'm going to take my vellum overlay. I'm going to match it up with the lines for the classic, as I am doing this for a classic size planner. And I'm going to punch. Now I do realize that as I put the vellum overlay in that my lines are a little over, which is fine with me. Well, I mean, the edges of my paper are a little over. So again, stick it in, match up those lines, and punch. I think this is just so cute. I'm gonna do the rest and then I'll be back with you guys again. Now all of my dashboards and their vellum overlays are punched, and my planners will be ready to be set up using these. So here we have all of my dashboards printed and cut down to size, as well as disc punch to go in my Happy Planner. Now all that's left to do is to set up my planner for next month. If you enjoyed this video and it inspired you to create your own dashboards, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel down below. And until next time, happy planning. Bye.